Now let's go ahead and get into the cons because I still do have some cons. I still think VidSummit would be best as a 4-day event, like I said in the last video. Now realize look, I've been part of the making of events like this. I used to be on the board of the Black Vegetarian Society of Texas. We hosted an event called Meet Out in a very big building, and I know it takes a lot of behind the scenes just to add 1 day to an event. So I might get some pushback from this, but if they added another day and they would need to charge more, I would be fine with that because I realize what it means. The reason I think it should be a 4-day event, there's not much of an interval between workshops and presentations, so you have to choose to pick between the presentations, watching them, or the networking. Where sometimes other conferences they do have, since they're spread out more, they have an extra day, like a 4-day event. There are just some intervals of 30 minutes to an hour where nothing is going on, so you can just network in the hallways, so you can catch more of the presentations. But like I said, there may be some behind the scenes things that are stopping them from doing that, but that's just my general feedback. Y'all see me looking to the right, I'm looking at my notes, so don't butcher me in the comments, okay? I don't want to miss nothing. Okay. Another con, I'm gonna say this because some people are gonna criticize me if I don't say it. There are people that I expected to be there that weren't there this year. The most notable person being Mr. Beast, but even just people that weren't speakers, but they were at the last VidSummit, like Pat Flynn. I didn't meet him in person, but I saw him from a distance, and I was going to go meet him, but I ended up getting wrapped up in the conversation, and then that lasted 15 minutes. And I looked up, and he was gone, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, there are some people that I thought would be there that just weren't there from a speaker perspective, and just people in the creator economy, um, I'll say environment or space. Let's see. Next, no vegan options. So I'm gonna keep saying this. Where the vegan options? Y'all know I've been a vegan for 12 years, but they offer some food. But the thing is, these conferences, a lot of them are starting to incorporate vegan options. So let's go ahead and get on trend, add the vegan options. And I'm not saying you have to provide them. They have food trucks outside, and with them having food trucks outside, one of them could easily be vegan. I'm the head of a vegan meetup group called the Veggie Outers. I have vegan restaurant owners on speed dial. So if y'all need trucks, holla at your board. I can hook you up. And lastly, some of the best presentations, based on what I'm seeing in the replays and the schedule, they happen very early in like day 2 and day 3. I found that kind of weird. Like, um, and this is subjective, but a lot of times you'll have the big presentations that everyone is there for, and those will be in the middle of the day. But some of them, like when Roberto and Nick Nimmons did their collaboration presentation, it was like early, like at 8 o'clock. I ended up missing that because there was an accident on my way to the summit, so I got stuck in traffic and I ended up missing it. Now I can catch the replay, but it is one of those things that just makes you wonder why wasn't something like that put closer to the middle of the day so they can maximize the attendees. I suppose we can go ahead and go on to the next question. We've been pretty crazy of VidSummit so far, and that's great. But with just bringing some balance to the equation, there's always room for improvement. So now I'm going to ask everyone, like in general, well, what do they feel that VidSummit could improve on in 2025? Dijon, what would be your answer to that question? What do you feel they can improve on?
Um, just
But
running off the top.
the options, because we both bashed that in.
Okay. Yeah, okay, for sure. Running off the top, the location was good. The bookings, the shops they had was cool. Some more shops would have been cool too. I don't want to say vegan options, but so let's just kind of taper over that. But that would be cool as well. The scheduling of the seminars definitely could have helped. Because I know they had like very important seminars stacked on top of each other. So it was the most important things about thumbnails on the first floor, and then the second floor it was the same thing but more in depth. And I just wish that they could have kind of like staggered that out a little bit, so an individual that was really interested in that topic would have been able to attend one, then the next, 25 minutes later, kind of just rest, recover, and then another seminar, and then so on and so forth, and just soak up everything that they needed to do, or soak up everything that they came to understand. Other than that, the event was cool that they had the on the first official day of VidSummit. I would have liked a repeat of that, or even a just a reoccurring thing on every day of the event. It would have been very cool to just keep connecting. I also really adamant on that extra day and staggering out the days, so it's not one day after the next. Because one other thing I noticed is on the last day or so, people were just drained of just of connecting, and so the energy felt different. And it kind of was harder to connect with people on an energy basis, just because we've been doing that for the last days, like consecutively meeting people. I know I met probably like 25, or I would even say 40% of the people I met. I really can't remember their names. I'd have to go through like my contact sheet and just to just try to like um what's that, reconnect with them and remember it. Like you say, put a face to the name. And that's one thing I also want to incorporate, that strategy you said, to keep saying their name so that it then gets remembered. um but yeah, I feel like if they staggered the days out and added an extra day, that would have definitely made it more impactful.
Okay, cool. So Kelly, what do you feel like they can improve on?
I was just gonna say the logistics behind the after party. I think no one knew what was going on, and everyone came in at such different times because the lines were so long.
Yeah, it definitely felt like word of mouth for me, at least.
Hmm. I kind of feel guilty because that line, I didn't experience most of it. I was negotiating with that sponsor I told y'all about for most of it. Then I came, and then the line was pretty much almost finished at that point. But I saw what it was. I would be kind of pissed off if I had to deal with that line, particularly like in a club setting. I'm not gonna lie, I have a VIP mentality. This line bullshit is not. No, I would just pay to be a VIP and get in. That's just me.
But we
That
were
makes
still in line.
me
We
bougie to
were,
say, but yeah.
but
And
our line was still like 30 minutes. I mean, and you only, I was like, come on, Elijah, you only cut like 15 people, but we were still in there for like 30 minutes,
was it really 30 minutes? It seemed more
maybe
like
20,
yeah.
maybe
But
20.
some
But, and we
people,
had already been there like 7 minutes, I think, before you got there, 5, 7 minutes.
And we were in Texas. You feel me? Like Texas.
yeah, hot as hell, huh?
Hey, not too much now.
Well, I agree, Kelly. The arranging of the party. I'm gonna give them a break because it was their first year. Just like last year, the line to the actual Bit Summit registration was out the door. So maybe it's a first time kind of thing, but they could streamline it next year better. But yeah, David, how do you feel like Bit Summit can improve for 2025?
Hmm. How do I feel? This was my first year. Okay. Definitely could have spaced it out a little bit more because when you're listening to speakers so much, at a certain point you just kind of stop paying attention as much. So they definitely could space it out some more. The logistics definitely need some work. And I mean, I'm gonna just talk about the obvious. I personally didn't go there for specifically Mr. Beast, but they kind of lied about that. Like, hey, he's gonna be here, and then people got to the event and he wasn't there. So, that's a thing too. I mean, granted, what's going on. We kind of know to a degree what's going on, so I understand. But so far those are pretty much my things. Again, the partying, not the partying, but the music. They definitely didn't think about everybody. Um, but again, the networking, the networking was really the key for me. Some of the speakers were really good. I really enjoyed. I can't remember his last name, but it was his first name was John. Obviously, Roberto was really good, and people along those lines. So it really wasn't too bad for me. I don't have that many complaints about it, but I do feel the small things are noticeable. It is the best way to put it for me.
Okay. So Yuli, what do you feel like they can do better for 2025?
So first, I just want to say that, like you said, they really are like making it better each time. Each iteration is like better and better. Like last year, we almost all died with no water when we were eating our food. We couldn't find water for. We were trying to get our drink tickets just to get water, and we still couldn't like make it in line because everybody was trying to get drinks and water at the same time. It was awful. But this year they took notice. They just did not anticipate that last year, and so this year, there were, soda stations in every corner. You could just grab a soda. We still didn't see water bottles you can grab, but maybe that was just us, right, Kelly? But they definitely, improved that aspect. So I feel like they keep making improvements. So at least that's the good part. I guess the one thing is probably just maybe making more use of that first day, not making it just a registration at the end of the day. Maybe making it like a full day, register in the morning and then have a full day. That way you're flying out there, you're spending at least 3 days and not just really 2 of seminars. Just make the best out of everybody's like travel expenses, you know. Um so that's pretty much it. And then just to add on to the last thing we were talking about, I just want to say briefly that the one good thing that everybody should definitely use is what Kelly said, and I think maybe someone else mentioned it, is the app. That's definitely it. It's
Cool.
definitely a great resource, and they do, yeah, and they seems like they do keep building on it. But you basically open the app and you can see everybody that's going to attend, so you can actually see, all of the, whether they're a small YouTuber or like a huge YouTuber, they're on there, and you can like bookmark them. You can send them a message, hey, I'd love to chat with you at some point, when are you most free, and you can just keep these people bookmarked. You can also add notes, so if you do meet them, I think you can add some notes to them. I think you probably add a picture. You could take like a selfie. Now you know their name and and remember their face. So definitely that app is really, really valuable. So I just wanted to add that to our last question.
Good point. I underutilized that app, to be honest. I only found out about it this time. I was on it last year, but I didn't know about the meetups. And come to find out that people were messaging me, and I didn't even realize it. Then this year, I found out about the meetups halfway through the event and went to a few of them. So yeah, that's if you use it right, obviously the day will end like at 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever when the seminar is in for that day. But if you're not going out to eat with like some group or something, just check that app, and there's probably some meetup somewhere you can attend that would benefit you. So yeah,
Well, and
but
it
you,
also
I
has the
definitely
awesome
will.
feature that you can actually plan out your entire, so it lets you say I'm going to this event, and it actually gives you reminders. So that's what we did last year. This year not so much, because this year we focused more on like networking. But last year, Kelly and I had like the entire itinerary. We looked through everything, and you get to write in the app, you get to say I'm going to this one, I'm going to this one, I'm going to this one, and you have it all planned out, and it'll just keep reminding you, hey, 5 minutes, whatever you choose, 15 minutes. So it's a nice way to, and then there's also, even I think they added this year a feature where it's like, what's happening now? That way you don't even have to, let's say you didn't plan for it and you're like, well, what's happening now? I just want to go somewhere like right this minute. You just go to the what's happening now and it tells you exactly. So it even gives you a floor plan too, because I know some people are like, where the heck is this? So you can click on it, see the floor plan, exactly what room, where it's located. So it really is super valuable.
okay. So gee whiz, what's your feedback on what they can improve on for next year?
So I'm a UX designer by trade. I was looking at the user experience the entire time. And that line in the very beginning in Texas, that's a no-no. Let us in
Uh,
and let us wait inside. That is evil. So that was the first thing. I heard you talk about the app, and I'm thinking that's amazing for introverts, but for people like me, I don't want to be on my phone at a networking event the whole time looking for things. And so like, even I had my phone off silent. I had my phone, on it doing things, but it wasn't notifying me, or if it was notifying me, I'm notification blind. I don't know about y'all, but like I get so many notifications every day. I don't see any notifications anymore. So even if it reminded me that it was coming up in 5 minutes, 5 minutes stretched to an hour, and then the thing was over. So I think it's great if you're introverted. It's a great way for you to get over that fear of meeting with people or coming up to them in person. You set your meetup in the app, and then you go find them in a place, and then you do the weird thing. that introverts do. I used to be introverted, so I'm not ragging on y'all. I get it. It's just awkward, peopling, but it's okay. And the introversion versus extroversion isn't about peopling versus not peopling. It's just how you recharge your battery. So I'm going off on a tangent. Things they could improve. Definitely the music, even though it was fruity and I can get down with it. Little more variety. There was a lot of people there from different walks of life, so there could have been a lot more variety with the music. Water, almost dying with the water. I could relate to that. I remember at one point I was talking so much I couldn't move my mouth anymore because there was no water to be found. And then when I finally found one of those water jugs on the roof, it was empty. So that was cruel and unusual punishment. The sessions, the timing of them, there were some that were happening at the same time, and so I felt like I had to choose. And they were happening on different floors, and you didn't really know. Like, there was ballroom 1 and 2, but on the signs up there wasn't a 1 or a 2. I had to kind of peek in, and then the sessions were running over, so I didn't know who was speaking or what. Probably better organization. Like in the very beginning when I got my name tag, I just paid $1,000, and not that like it matters because I'm there amongst the people and the name tag doesn't matter. But when I got my name tag, it was blank and they put a sticker on it, and it took like an hour or two to get my name tag, and I had to give them my license, and then they disappeared with my license.
Oh.
And she was great with the lady that took care of me, Sarah. She was great with taking care of me, but like when I kept seeing her walk by me without my license and just kind of not mentioning me, and then I finally catch her and she's like, oh yeah, one of these people at the table have your license. So I had to wait in all 3 lines to see which person had my license and which person had my tag. So after all of that and finally getting my name tag without my name on it, it was kind of like, that's not a good start to this experience. I hope it gets better, right? But it's really thinking through. I hope that they can think through how people are going to experience it. And if they're looking for a designer that can help them map out this process from beginning to end and do the customer journey of how these people feel at the different parts, I'd be happy to get on that team, that planning team. Shameless plug.
Well, I just want to say you can definitely reach out to Daryl.
Oh.
They're always looking for volunteers. So if you wanted to volunteer, that would be a way to kind of, hey, I can volunteer some design.
Okay.
Tips.
I did not know that. See, that's another thing. I was a little disappointed that, I start reading this. This, don't judge me. This one's not open. The other one that's open here. I'm reading it. I promise. This one's still closed. This one's open. Started reading the YouTube formula. That's what got me in the whole VidSummit. It came up in my feed. I'd never heard of it before. And I never got to meet Daryl. I didn't see him in the halls anywhere. I got a little sad I didn't get to meet Tom Bilyeu. I was fanning out. Of all the people there, that was the one I fanned out on because I watched his stuff for years. Like he's great at getting people to think differently. Let's see, other improvements.
While you think of more improvements, the name tag thing, David had to drop off, but it's ironic because he actually saw this. Dijon might have saw some of it too. He heard me complain about it. But I bought my ticket a few weeks ahead of time instead of a few months this year. And I got that sticker on my name tag too. I was like, look, this ain't gonna fly. Because you gotta squint to see my name, Elijah. So I still had my previous name tag from last year, and I swapped those bad boys and no one even noticed. But my name is in big bold letters. Like maybe I'm cocky, but hey, I want you to know I'm Elijah. And I want to see your name too. And some people I would have to squint. I didn't like the fact I had to squint for them, but it's damn sure not about to happen to me. So I just swapped them out. But regardless, when you get your ticket, I don't like the sticker thing. They need to do what they need to do to get everyone's name laminated on the tag. But go ahead, Wiz. Did you have any?
That was it. As far as maybe like I know print media costs a lot. There was like 3,000, maybe 4,000, close to 4,000 people at that event. So printing out a schedule that they can actually tangibly have It's probably not cost effective. That's why the app was there. I think the app could be designed a little better to know where things are and what's happening and when, because I felt like it was all over the place for me to figure out where things were. I didn't know there were booths on the 3rd and 4th floor where you could visit, so I didn't get to visit all the booths. I did buy the YouTube formula, so I have it on Audible, and then I bought it because the guy said he would send me a copy after I saw people walking around with it. I'm like, where'd you get it? They're like, they're giving it away on the 4th floor. By the time I got through peopling and got there, they'd given them all away. So I'm like, I bought it, and then they actually sent me the free version. So now I have 2. I'm going to gift this to someone because this right here can change your life for the rest of your life if you use what's in it. Y'all know this. Your YouTube channels are growing, and you're making the impact you need to make for your audience. And I'm trying to get on y'all's level, man.
Sup everyone, y'all just watched a clip from one of the episodes of the Side Hustler Society podcast. If you want to check out the full episode, you can click on the link in the description right now, or click on the video that's showing in the end screen. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when another episode drops, and a thumbs up on this video is very much appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one.